Let's now go to Bundaberg and catch up with Nationals MP and former Resources Minister Keith Pitt. Thanks for joining us, Keith. Well, out of left field, what about the ABC? What about this stuff where they're just churning through our tax dollars to pump out their ideological propaganda?
Chris, you're absolutely on the money. I heard your editorial. The reef's in really good condition. That's what the report said. It's what they've said for quite some time. Although, if I recall correctly, it was a miracle. About 2 weeks after the Albanese government was elected, UNESCO said, it's all great. The reef's much better than it was under the coalition.
Ah, that's it. The Green Left saved it. How silly of me not to realise that. Now, let's bring you back to some ugly party politics. You're LNP, of course, but one party of the two coalition parties in Queensland, but the Liberal Party in New South Wales has been in all sorts of strife. Brian Lochnane's been running a review of that, and the breaking news this afternoon, courtesy of Andrew Clennell, is that the federal Liberal Party is going to put in a three-person panel to effectively run the New South Wales Liberal Party, a bit like the CFMEU. They need administration. Is this a good move to get the party into shape through at least to the federal election?
Chris, the federal Liberal Party, as you know, is a top-down design. It's run federally. The states are not affiliates; they're part of the program. But everyone I know that's in politics, that's in political parties, they're there to implement the policies that they support, the things that they want to see for Australia and for their country. And to do that, you have to be in government, and you cannot win government unless the party machine is working hard and pulling in the same direction. And, mate, I didn't get into politics to get tied up in factional fights about who may or may not get a position on the executive. We are there to win government, and we are there to implement the policies of the membership, and that's how I've always seen it.
So that's been the problem in New South Wales, too much factionalism?
Well, look, I'm not in the New South Wales Liberal Party. I'll leave those comments to others. But what I know is you can't win without the machine, and you can't win without support, and you can't win without volunteers. And all of those are clearly at risk, and the federal Liberal Party's made a decision, and I'm hopeful it's the right one. We've all seen what's happened over recent years.
Well, I live in New South Wales, and I used to work for a New South Wales Liberal politician. Let me answer that one for you. Yes, Chris, it is too much factionalism. It's been running amok, and hopefully the feds can sort it out so they can actually run a decent federal election campaign. Let's bring it back to an issue that I know you're keenly focused on, and that's this gold mine, proposed gold mine at Blaney. I want to show you something that Tanya Plibersek said yesterday, and I pointed out how this was a shift in her logic and reasoning behind the banning of the tailings dam. I noticed the Australian picked this up this morning as well. Here she is, Tanya Plibersek on Channel 7 yesterday.
A lot of local farmers who don't want this tailings dam built at the headwaters of a river because they are worried about their sheep and goat and honey businesses down the river. They're worried about the impact as well.
So, as you know, Keith, the tailings dam was banned on the basis of secret Aboriginal cultural information, but now she's talking about the state of the river and environmental concerns, even expressed by farmers. Does it look like Canberra could have used Indigenous issues to get an environmental outcome here, even after it won environmental approvals?
Well, what Tanya said is just outright can't be true, because otherwise you couldn't use Section 10 of the heritage legislation to make the decision that she did. And mate, let's face facts here. This company would not have progressed to the point that they are at. They would not have invested millions of dollars and a lot of time to get this over the line if they thought for a second they had a problem with Aboriginal heritage on the proposal. It was approved by the states, and they are generally the ones where those approvals come from. And the idea they've been rubbed out because, well, someone had a discussion and, you know, they had a feeling, and on that basis, the minister has rubbed out something that's worth up to 1,000 jobs and significant money into the local economy. Well, sovereign risk is now running rampant. It's no longer a perception. It's real, and that is a problem for Australia.
Yeah, well, there's a bit to go on this issue. I know your leader and the Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister, Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price, are going to be down at Blaney tomorrow. So we'll see what they've got to say down there tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Keith Pitt. I appreciate it.